Both the spiders and the symbiotes are dealing with a traitor in their team. So in this competition between the Spider-Verse and the Venomverse, we now move over to game 2, where both teams receive the addition of one new team member. And let me tell you this now, this changes everything. Let's not waste any more time as we recap Spider-Verse vs. Venomverse issue 2. Let's go! We open with Eddie Brock, reflecting on how strange it feels to see Peter Parker again. But the Venom symbiote reminds him that no matter what happens here, no matter what they do in these games, it won't change what they did to their own Peter. The rest of the symbiote team is fired up and aggressive, ready to tear their way to survival at any cost. But Eddie's different. He's the only one still trying to figure out how both sides, the spiders and the symbiotes, might survive this twisted contest. But that seems impossible. There's no right answer here. Venom reassures Eddie that they've come a long way since they first bonded. They're not the same duo that killed their own Peter Parker. They've changed. They've become something better. With 5 minutes left in the first of 3 brutal games, set by the Web Heart and Hive Mind to decide which side survives the multiverse, we see Agent Venom, aka Anne Weying, caught in heavy webs. But her symbiote saves her, slipping out a knife and cutting her free. Her Venom symbiote mentions how strange it is that the spiders she faced seemed like kids, but Anne quickly corrects this statement. They were young adults. It's a small distinction that says a lot about how far they've fallen, that this is even something they have to clarify in this battle of life and death. Most of the symbiote team has now reached the final pillar. The only thing they need to do now is touch the pillar in order to pass to the next round. As Eddie arrives, he sees the mysterious figure who swore they wouldn't participate. He claims he's only sticking around out of curiosity instead. Eddie spots Anne and is glad that she made it, but she lets him know that the spiders held back against her. They wouldn't kill her. This shows that the spiders, at least for now, are sticking to that usual code, no killing. That moment is cut short when Spider-Clan Venom steps forward with grim news. Viking Venom is dead, incinerated by the spiders. Weapon 8 burned the symbiote off his flesh, and then continued to burn his flesh from the bone. Eddie is skeptical at first, but Spider-Clan Venom insists. He can still smell the scorched meat, still hear the screams echoing in his ears. Before they can process this, a voice reminds them that they have 10 seconds left to touch the pillar. Eddie pleads they need to talk about this before making any more rash decisions. Over on the spider side, Peter welcomes Recluse and Spider Prowler, relieved that Agent Venom didn't bring them down. They think maybe they actually eliminated her from the game, but Spider-Ham interrupts. He claims that there has to be no more killing. Peter catches onto the word more and demands an explanation. Spider-Ham fills them in. Weapon 8 roasted Viking Venom alive. The whole team is stunned, but Weapon 8 is unapologetic. He was built for war and will do what's needed to protect the spiders across the multiverse. With 10 seconds left, Peter also urges his team to think before acting. Then the second game begins. The same rules. Make it to the enemy's temple in 30 minutes and touch the pillar to stay in the contest. Fail and you're sent home, removed from this multiversal struggle. With Viking Venom dead, the spiders hold the advantage, but now each side gets a new teammate. The symbiotes get Wrath, also known as Queen Okoye of Wakanda, bonded to a symbiote. The spiders are joined by Webweaver, Hooper Cohen. It's here that we learn that the 2 new members were able to watch the events of Game 1 take place. Wrath wastes no time accusing Eddie Brock of betrayal, conspiring with Peter to find a way out of these deadly games. She claims Eddie's unfit to lead and that she's ready to take command. She already has a plan. She reveals a Wakandan mist bomb, a sedative that won't affect the symbiotes but will instantly knock the spiders unconscious. All they need to do is lure the spiders to a central location. And so she orders Agent Venom and Spider-Clan Venom to capture one of the spiders alive, leading them to the trap. When the mysterious figure questions the plan's simplicity, Wrath dismisses him, stating that he doesn't even have a symbiote, and requests him to leave. But she also demands Eddie, the supposed traitor of the group, to step aside too. When Eddie asks Agent Venom if she really wants to follow Wrath, Agent Venom admits that she has no choice. The spiders could kill them all, but Eddie insists there's always a choice. Back with the spiders, and tensions are flaring. Webweaver calls out Weapon 8 for killing Viking Venom, reminding him that the spiders don't kill. Weapon 8 doesn't care. He argues that if they lose these games, there won't be any spiders left to care about morals. Spider Prowler tries to break up the argument, suggesting they go their own ways to stop the infighting. But when Peter calls him Miles, Spider Prowler snaps. He tells Peter that they're not close, and that the only person to truly understand him was his Uncle Aaron. And Uncle Aaron's final lesson, before his passing, was clear. When rules threaten your people's survival, you break those rules. As the spiders head for the temple, Weapon 8, Recluse, and Spider Prowler stick together. Recluse wonders if Spider Prowler really trusts Weapon 8, which he doesn't. He's just there making his own judgment. Because if they lose, real lives vanish forever. But if they win, the mind-controlling symbiotes are wiped out, and the hosts will continue to survive. Suddenly, they're ambushed. Agent Venom and Spider-Clan Venom strike to capture a spider. Recluse doesn't hesitate to attack Agent Venom head-on, whilst Weapon 8 continues to mock them, saying the spiders outnumber them now. But Spider-Clan Venom grins and reveals that he's been holding back. Now he transforms into something monstrous and terrifying. Weapon 8 attacks but is easily overpowered by Spider-Clan Venom's new form. He's flung into a pit with a dismissive, "I find you lacking." Spider Prowler leaps in to attack next, but is also easily beaten, bound in symbiote tendrils and captured. He's then flung over Spider-Clan Venom's shoulder and taken away. Elsewhere, Wrath and Eddie clash violently. Wrath is surprised as she taunts him, asking him, "So you do fight?" Eddie agrees, but he only fights when needed to protect people. Wrath taunts Eddie, calling him a typical American as she lashes out with her symbiote claws. Eddie refuses to escalate the fight. He still wants to find a way for both the symbiotes and spiders to survive these deadly games without slaughter. But Wrath mocks his naivety, telling him that if he were responsible for protecting an entire group of people, like she is as the Queen of Wakanda, he'd understand that hard, brutal choices are sometimes the only way to ensure survival. She reminds him that she is not just a queen, but a leader who bears the weight of millions of lives. But Eddie's resolve doesn't break. As they clash, he fights back hard, even beginning to rip Wrath away from her host and slamming Okoye to the ground. He reminds her that he was once the King in Black, the nexus of trillions of symbiotes across his universe, hovering over her beaten form. Eddie makes it clear, nothing she can do with a symbiote will ever catch him off guard. Every move he makes is for the true future of the symbiotes, a future that cannot be built on a legacy of death and destruction. That was Null's way. He demands better from her. He takes the Wakandan mist bomb from her grasp and leaps away, leaving Wrath defeated on the battlefield. Spider-Clan Venom returns with Spider Prowler captive, meeting Agent Venom. He mocks Anne's failure against Recluse. Wrath arrives with no bomb, a crucial part of their plan. She admits that she was ambushed by the symbiote traitor, Eddie, to which Spider-Clan Venom scoffs again at the news of another failure. Wrath admits that they may not win this round, but at least they can kill one of the spiders. She wants to execute Spider Prowler, but Spider-Clan Venom warns her that this wasn't part of the plan. This isn't very sporting, but Wrath replies stating that this isn't a sport. And she isn't asking for Spider-Clan Venom to kill the Spider Prowler, only for him to step out of the way while she does it. Back on the spider side, Recluse helps Weapon 8 to his feet. Peter checks in with Webweaver and Spider-Ham. Recluse scolds them for splitting up, but Spider-Ham points out that the symbiotes are only this violent because Weapon 8 killed one of them first. Weapon 8 shrugs. The symbiotes have already taken Spider Prowler and they will take him out, and so Weapon 8 feels like he failed him. Peter rallies them together. They'll rescue Spider Prowler as a team. Suddenly, Eddie arrives. He warns them of the symbiote's trap with the Wakandan bomb and hands it over to them as a sign of good faith. He wants to find a way out of all of this without mass death. Spider-Ham takes the bomb, but Recluse presses Eddie. Do the other symbiotes on your team feel the same way as you? Eddie doubts it. Their priority now is to save Spider Prowler. Spider-Ham pulls Weapon 8 aside for a private word. Weapon 8 speaks first, letting Spider-Ham know that regardless of their disagreements, everything he is doing is to help the other spiders. But Spider-Ham actually whispers that he agrees with Weapon 8. In order to win the games, they should be killing the symbiotes on sight. Weapon 8 is surprised, asking if he really means that. It's at this moment that Spider-Ham sucker punches him, calling him a beef-headed, thunderously naive idiot. He refuses to let Weapon 8 corrupt the team's values. He webs the bomb to Weapon 8's chest, swings away, and lets the bomb explode behind him, hopefully disqualifying Weapon 8 from the games. And if you're still craving more Spider-Man content, make sure to check out my Spider-Man playlist, or check out the rest of my channel where I upload Marvel content just like this every single week. But for the meantime, peace, peace, peace.